Hi, I'm TM Logan, and I'm a Sunday Times best-selling author of 7 psychological thrillers, including The Catch, The Holiday, The Curfew, and most recently, The Mother, which is out now. The Mother is a story of a young mother called Heather Vernon who has 2 small children, and she finds herself on trial for a terrible crime, wrongfully convicted actually of that crime of murder, and she's sentenced to 18 years. She comes out after 9 years, having served half her term. She comes out on parole, and with one mission really, to find out who has set her up, who's framed her for this crime, because if she can't unravel that mystery, then she's never going to find her way back to her 2 sons who have been growing up without her while she's been in prison. So she really has to solve the mystery of that, otherwise she's never going to find her way back to them. The plot of The Mother was inspired in some part by a documentary I watched about a case from the late 90s, the case of Louise Woodward, who was a British nanny working in America who was convicted of manslaughter of the baby in her care, and it was the 25th anniversary of that case, which I had actually watched, had followed on TV when it happened in 1997, and it was the anniversary of that case, so they showed some of the footage again, and I was struck again by the case and by the prosecution and how she had appeared on the stand as a defendant, how the jury had reacted to her, and of course how she had always maintained her innocence, throughout the whole process. And so that got me thinking about that, and about the whole area of wrongful conviction as a whole, and the story of The Mother kind of really grew from there. The crime books that keep me up all night are unsurprisingly thrillers, which I love to read in the same genre that I write in. So I love books that make me want to just read one more chapter and stay up a little bit longer, or read try and find time during the day to read. So those are the ones that I really kind of gravitate towards, and some of the ones I've enjoyed recently include The Only Suspect by Louise Candlish. This is an advanced copy, so it's not the final jacket. That was very, very good. Also The Hike by Lucy Clark, also another excellent book. She writes really, really good like destination thrillers, so it's set in Scandinavia on a hike with 4 friends. And this one, which is The Marriage Act by John Mars, which has just come out quite recently, which is kind of a alternative future book, but also very, very, very good and very compelling. So those are a few of the thrillers that have kept me up all night. I've always loved libraries ever since I was a boy. Actually still go to the library, try to go at least once a week to work, to write, get me out of my writing cabin every so often, because it's really sort of inspiring to be in the library and surrounded by other books. But I also love to go to libraries to visit and meet people and talk to readers. There's actually a section of the acknowledgements of my latest book, of The Mother, which is kind of a thank you to all the libraries and librarians and library users who've sort of welcomed me over the last 5 years, during visits, and the welcome is always very warm, and it's always a real pleasure to go to libraries. So thank you to all the librarians and library staff and library users. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has picked up one of my books, who has read or listened to one of my stories. I'm TM Logan, and my latest book, The Mother, is out now as a hardback, ebook, and of course in audiobook, and it's available from BorrowBox, the library app.